back to another Shields of Shame video, everyone. This is Litzy Saravia, a corrections officer at the Gainesville YDC in Gainesville, Georgia. She was caught having relations with multiple female inmates. She was investigated, fired, and decertified. This is the rest of the story. This is a series spanning 3 hours of interviews and 4 hours of jail footage. Be sure to check the description box below to know where you are in the series. Thank you for supporting. Now let's go. Peace.
You got your phone with you?
It's in my car right now.
Okay. Is there anything on it? You still got the text messages she sent?
No, sir.
Have you and Lieutenant Samuels ever communicated over the phone like that outside of work?
Just a couple times, but it's not very much.
Okay. So you deleted, when did you delete the text message? No.
I'm not sure.
What phone does she call you from? Like, you remember the phone number and stuff?
No, sir. I know it was, it had to be an Android.
Android?
Yes.
How do you know it?
Because the text messages were green.
Okay. So the whole phone ordeal, before I leave today, and if it gets to the point of whatever I'm suspecting it may get to, I'll call my supervisor and just see what he wants to do as far as that's concerned. If he wants it collected for evidence, because y'all communicated over the phone, so technically I have probable cause to suspect that based on that communication that there may be other evidence on your phone pertaining to relationships that you've either had here with youth or staff. So let's cross that path before I go taking your phone and dumping it. So anything that's deleted, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, you may think it's gone, but it's still there.
Right.
Okay. So is there anything on your phone that would show any communication with any youth up here other than her and her text message?
No, sir.
Would it show that you've lied to me today about yours and relationship?
No, sir. Not that I can recall.
There's a difference in no and not that I recall. So explain that, because
I think we did exchange a few messages after I told her happy birthday. I think I just told her what she had planned, and she had said she had something with her kids going on, and I think that was pretty much it.
Is that still on there, or you deleted it?
It was that same day, so it was deleted as well.
Did you delete it because of this investigation? Is that the reason you deleted it, because you?
No, sir.
All right. So would you be willing and voluntarily to give your phone up today if it were to come to that, or?
Yes, sir.
I mean, it's up to you. I can't, like I said, I'm not gonna force you to do anything.
Right.
This is me talking to you. You have rights, Mr. Saravia. I understand the cooperation. It's great. It makes things a little easier, because either way, you know, this is a hill we got to get over, and you're gonna have to get over. And I just want to make sure that it's not a matter, like being an investigator is not a matter of just proving somebody's guilty of something. It's also helping prove their innocence of something. Right? I want to believe you that nothing happened between you and her other than a hug.
Right.
Like, I want to believe you, but there's telltale signs that also make me question that you might be lying. You know, I'm not saying you are, but it's just some stuff that I believe you may be. Just because you're scared that, well, if I sit here and say that I touched a girl like that, that's going to make it worse on me.
Right.
I mean, you're already at the point where you're looking at losing your job, right? You know that.
Yes, sir.
You already know that. You know that just based on when you open them doors, past time for them to be in their cell. I mean, you can just lose your job based on that. That's not my decision. I'm here to just talk to you and get the facts. I'll call my boss, see what he wants to do as far as your phone is concerned. And if you're willing to consent to it, then you know that's helpful. And if you're not willing to consent, then I'm gonna type out a search warrant and I'm gonna get it that way. Either way, I'm probably gonna have to type out a search warrant just to actually search the phone. But if you're willing to voluntarily give it up just based on solely of y'all's communication. But what I don't want to do is sit here and you say these things hadn't happened and then start opening up a can of worms, and then you come back in here and I'm like, all right, you told me before it didn't happen, but it did, so now you lied to me. So now you want to explain it. You see what I'm saying? And now you're looking at lying to me. Like, now's your golden opportunity. This is your opportunity to tell it. Think long and hard. I know it's stuff you probably don't want to talk about, but think long and hard.
I promise you, I've never done this stuff to that girl like that. Like she says, I have no idea why she would say that. Like I said, they did come up to me saying that those rumors that was going around, but I promise you, those rumors are not true.
Okay.
I don't know why she would say that.
I can't answer that question because I really don't either. I wish I had the answer to it, but all I can see is that the only reason, because here's the thing, like everything you're sitting here telling, I feel like you're sitting here telling me the truth about everything but that, and I'll tell you why I feel that way. Just solely based on everything that she has told me, even with the phone and stuff. You sat here and you finally was like, okay, wait a minute, yeah, we communicated over the phone, but it wasn't nothing. There's no sexual anything. It's just checking on her, making sure she's good, even though that's still against policy of DJJ.
Right.
Right. So you're admitting all that, but then when it comes down to her sitting here talking about explicitly with me the things y'all have done over the time of her being here, it still makes me question your truthfulness. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
But because you're saying everything these girls have told me, you're saying is true except that. Why would everything be true except the major part, the hard part of I put my hands on a kid? That's a hard part. That's something really hard to get over. Especially when you're sitting across the table knowing that you could be charged with it. You already know you could be charged with it.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you can. You'd be charged with I mean, it's an allegation. It's a that's why it's like a criminal case. It's a criminal allegation, but it's up to you. Like I said, it's up to you. If you're charged in this case, it's up to you to be truthful now, because I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna call and say, hey, do you want me to get her phone? She's willing to voluntarily give it up, and we get the phone, and then we dump it, and there's all this other stuff on there, or we offer a polygraph, right? Because that's another option for me, just solely based on I want to cover everything to not only say you did this, right? But to say no, she hadn't done it, because she's being truthful on the polygraph. It's showing that she's being truthful, right? That's something that I'm looking at too. I want to clear all bases. When I leave here, I would rather have it to where I don't have any questions, right? Versus that, well, there's a lot of questions I have just solely based on this interview. You see what I'm saying? Like, I would rather get it all out now than, a month down the road when you're sitting, because I don't know how long it's going to take to get the polygraph done. Sometimes it takes a few days and get it scheduled or whatever, but normally I give you 24 to 48 hour notice, and then you sit down with a GBI agent, or it may be our staff that does a voice stress analysis test, but right now I'm shooting more towards GBI doing the polygraph, because it's a little better. That's something that you need to be racking in your brain right now. Do I say it? Because I see your mind working, like your mind's working, and you're wondering, well, what is really on my phone?
There's something on my phone.
So yours and Samuel's relationship, and he's a lieutenant, right?
Yes, sir.
Have y'all ever had any personal relationship outside of work?
No, sir.
No pictures, nothing sent like that. And when I say pictures, I mean like explicit stuff.
Oh, no, sir.
Nothing like that. And the reason I'm asking you this is because that come up too, as far as y'all's relationship. That y'all do have a relationship, and y'all have one now. And that's the reason that he's supposedly, or maybe leaving RYDC. You tell me. I don't work here. I don't live here, so I don't really even know him. So I'm asking you.
Don't know the reason why he's leaving, but we would only text and call a few days out of work. There was only one time where I had to go pick him up from his appointment to take him to go get his car because he was getting work done, and I took him back, and that was it.
Y'all never had a professional relationship?
No, sir.
So you're saying everything's been strictly professional?
Mhm.
No text messages that, other than what you're saying?
Mhm.
Like taking him to do what?
With this car stuff.
Okay. Was there any text messages, pictures sent, phone calls made to any other youth?
No, sir.
So just these two girls?
Yes, sir.
And it was just, explain that to me. Why these two girls? Put it in your own words. I don't want to put it in my words. I want to put it in your words. What do you got to say about it?
I think it's only those two girls because, like I said, I was always in the girls' unit. So, there were some girls I would get along more than the others, only because some of them were really hard to read, or some of them just came up to me and started talking to me. And so, I would, the more I would talk to them, the more I would grow a closer bond with them and care for them a little bit more. And, yeah.
I got you. How old are you?
20.
20 years old. So you're relatively close in age to these girls.
Yes, sir.
Did you find that difficult for your job? I mean, did it make it difficult? Because, I mean, you've identified that you're bisexual and like girls and guys, and obviously you've also made reference that they're here and not out on the quote-unquote streets, so to speak. So did that complicate things for you? I mean, I'm curious as far as the age and being able to control that.
My age?
Well, your age and your obviously your interest.
My age, it did make it difficult because you're relatively close to this, almost the same age as these folks. So sometimes I would be like, okay, well, I was your age not too long ago, so I would try to use some of my experiences and try to compare it to yours, just to make them feel better that way. But then it would be kind of difficult because I'm 20 and they're that age, and I guess my sexual orientation, it wouldn't make things any more difficult. I mean, I
want to cover that because that could be questions that come up too. Is obviously being 20 and you're talking to a 17 or a 16-year-old or 18-year-old or a 20-year-old, like you're close in age to them. Obviously, I understand that it can make it difficult, but here's one of my things. I've made mistakes at a young age, and nothing major. As far as like I didn't work in a DJJ facility or nothing like that. As far as being a JCO, and y'all got a difficult job. There's no doubt about that. But when y'all go through the academy, I mean, they teach y'all the do's and don'ts, and being professional, and that's part of your oath of office, and when you take that oath, when you overstep that oath, right? What happens? You violated it.
Right.
And essentially, when you violate it, you could be charged with what? Violation of the office, just like anybody else, right? So, having know that at a 20-year-old age, why was it so hard for you to control the dynamic of being a JCO versus what happened? Like, why was it so hard for you to do that?
I guess it was just an honest mistake. I don't know what I was thinking. I was hoping maybe the situation would die down, but it's just an honest mistake.
When do things start? I mean, when did things, obviously, from my understanding, it started when you got certified and you came back. That's when everything started with, and then it kind of rolled into when she showed up, and now here you are sitting in front of me. Like, let me ask you this. If you wasn't sitting here today and you were going to work every day, would you ever say anything?
I probably would have.
At what point, though? At what point?
To the point, probably.
I mean, how far did it have to go? Because you already done kissed a kid. How much further do we have to go to let somebody know? You said you felt threatened because she would threaten you, but then you said it was just her being her. Mm-hmm. So you wasn't too threatened by it because it was just her being her.
It was her being her.
right? So at what point do we say that, hey, I got a job to do and y'all can't be doing that, even though you may say, all right, yeah, that girl's attractive or that guy's attractive. You have to also say in the back of your mind, well, I have a job to do at the end of the day, and there's that separation. But for you to deliberately, as many nights as I have you going in, and it's almost every day you work going in a room. Every night you work. Open the door with a key. And you know you're not supposed to do that. So at what point do you just say, I'm a JCO and I can't be involved like that? What point does it have to reach to?
I think it would, to me, it reached after that point.
Which one? Me sitting in front of you?
No, after what happened between me and her.
Well, it's easy to say that now because we're where we're at, right? You understand the severity of what's going on. You understand the severity of what's going on and where we're at.
It's really
It's very serious. So we'll get some answers as far as the polygraphs and stuff like that to just help clear. I want to make sure that these things didn't happen, and I think that would be one of the bases of the questioning for the polygraph. If you're willing to do it. If you're not willing to do it, tell me to leave you alone about it, and I'm not even going to schedule it.
The polygraph?
Mm-hmm. It's up to you. I can't force your hand to do it, and I'm not going to hold against you either way. But that's my question is, would you like to take a polygraph or not?
I would.
Okay. Because I can't force your hand. I'm not going to. That's your decision. You have to make that voluntarily. October the 12th, and it was like you'd wait. Like soon as sleep hours hit, it's like, all right. Why would you let like why were they able to be out and about and nobody else? Like why them? Because that's you know what that looks like. It's just favoritism to the other kids. They're like, wait a minute, why do they get to be out? So why them? Why do they get to be out?
I mean, I try to be fair with everyone. Try to let them out at the same time because they did help me clean the unit after hours and sanitize and help and everything.
Is that something that was like mandated or like what? Did y'all have orders to do that or is it something you did?
I asked permission to before anything else.
You asked permission to let them out?
Yes.
Who'd you ask permission?
My supervisors.
Who?
It was either it would be Sergeant Shepard or Lieutenant Samuels. And there was one instant where I did ask Captain Switzer one night if I could let a youth out to help me clean, and she said yes.
What is Shepard's first name? Do you know?
Michael.
Michael.
Yes, sir.
What's Samuel's first name?
I know Mr. Hakeem.
Who?
Hakeem.
I don't know
I
how
don't
to
know how to
spell
spell that.
that. I'll get the right spelling. All right. So when you got permission, it was verbal permission.
Yes, sir.
You would radio and ask for permission, or you would do it face to face.
Sometimes it'd be radio, and sometimes it'd be face to face.
You never touched his. You never kissed.
Never.
All hers was just her being mad about her girlfriend. Did you ever get a note from at all?
No, sir.
You have any questions for me right now?
No, sir.
I know we've talked about a lot. I think we'll end the interview here for now. I will call my supervisor while you write what we talked about down on a piece of paper. I'll call him and kind of see what he wants to do about the phone stuff. And then we'll go from there as far as that's concerned. And then of course, if I have any other questions, we'll go back on the record. I'm not going to ask you any other questions about the case without being on the record.
Right.
So if he wants the phone, we'll go back on the record. I'll walk outside because it's in your car, obviously. It's not in here. I know you got a smartwatch too. So what kind is it? Droid? Is it Droid or iPhone?
It's iPhone.
Okay. So we may. Are y'all allowed to bring watches in here? Like, that's approved through the director?
He had said it was allowed. At one time, a sergeant had scanned me in to scan me, and she had said to wait there to see if the smartwatch was okay. And she had gone to the director, and the director said it was okay.
I don't know. I think it's a facility thing, it seems like, but I don't know. I wouldn't allow it.
Right.
Because my thing is if you're allowed a smartwatch, you might as well be allowed a cell phone.
Right.
Because it's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And DJJ's policy is very clear on cell phones, so yeah, I most definitely wouldn't do that, but it's not my decision, I guess. All right, we'll look at that. We'll look at some policy violation issues that you'll be cited for in this case as employee misconduct, obviously going inside the room and stuff like that. The bigger issue right now is the criminal dynamic. You know, and we got to get past that first. So I don't want to call the facility policy issues a minute, but we're not gonna. Our main focus is getting over all this criminal stuff first and clearing it. And once we clear it, and part of that's going to be the polygraph, your phone search if they want to do that, and then once that's done, if nothing else comes out of that, then it'll just be what we have. And if charges were to be sought on you, you're gonna know about it. Ain't gonna be no big secret. You're gonna know about it, because if I decide to take arrest warrants on you, you're gonna be notified. Because I'm not gonna be the guy that's just like, all right, we got arrest warrants, and just come knocking on your door and take you to jail. That's not how it's gonna work. Okay? So you got any questions right now?
Well, I know the severity of the situation, but I really don't want anything happening to me.
Yeah, I understand.
You got my family and stuff, and I just really hate that person.
I understand.
I know I did was a mistake.
Sure. I told you we make mistakes. It ain't the end of the world.
I just don't want. I don't know. I don't want it to cause my whole life.
It's not gonna ruin your whole life. We'll get over everything right now. We got to, like I said, it's my job to prove innocence just as much as it is guilt. And we go off facts. We don't just make stuff up. We go off facts. And right now, you know, as far as today is concerned, you're going home today. Like, you're going home.
That's all I want.
And later on down the road, you know, when we get this polygraph scheduled and do all that, you know, you'll know at the end of the day, when push comes to shove, whether you're being charged or not. Okay? I ain't a secretive person. I'm a very, very, very forward person when it comes to stuff like that. That's why I told you I'm gonna call my supervisor and see what he wants to do about his phone, and we'll do it the way that it needs to be done. Okay. I'll conclude this interview right now at 11:26.